Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. You see the idea of the cross-check reins. We have one pair of drive lines in Sarah's hands, and yet we're controlling both sides of each heifer's heads. And we're gonna give a whole lot of practice to our heifer pairs in pairs pulling, pairs driving, farming around here at Shadrach Farms. Next, we provide pairs driveline training with our rope cross-check lines. It's just a lunge whip, so that when I'm back here, I can touch them on their hips, on their rumps, maybe even on their ribs and their shoulders, whatever is needed to apply some pressure to explain what I'm asking them to do. Step up, girls. Step up. Step up. Good. I used my little arm extension here. They're going straight. Step up. Ha. Ha means left. Step up, ha. Step up. Pretty complicated. We got a long ways to go before we're confident. And they're confident. Step up.
Do you want to put the yoke on?
Not yet. We will. Step up.
They're driving, but not yet.
Yes. Yes. Over here, just past this propane tank, let's do a turn. Step up. Ha! 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 Grab the double yoke, which we have repaired. We may have to bolt it. Uh-oh. Step up. We want them to understand to stay together, head on head, parallel. Okay, give Kyle your lead line. Get the double yoke. The double yoke wool, we made that here too at Shadrach Farms, will keep their heads together. I've seen giant oxen working together with the handler not even connected in any way, just with voice command. So I know that we can get there someday. It's just going to take a lot of repetition. Okay, here comes our double yoke, and we'll see if it survives today, because it was falling apart at a joint that had some glue. Okay, now they're going to be tied together by this yoke. We're going to do the same drill. Okay, good. All right, now here we go again. One more try down the path toward the creek. Step up. Step up. Step up. Ha! Ha! A little tug with my left drive line. My right one is loose because I've asked with that ha command and the left drive line, I've asked Sela, the youngster, to turn, and Susie followed along with her without concern. Okay, I'm going to say, reach down and release your lead lines, both of you, Scott, and step up. I wanted to keep them going. It's usually pretty important to keep that forward motion so that you can keep their focus on it. Okay, now here's where we're going to go. Step up, ha, ha, ha. I'm using my extension. Step up, ha, go with them, Kyle. Ha, because she's kind of you, not realizing, or maybe she realized it now. Step up.
I think she's reacting to your
frozen feet.
Yeah.
Step up. Step up. Step up. Ha! Step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. Oh, you know what? Put the lead lines back on. We jumped the gun there too soon. Okay, now help lead them with just a slight pressure. Step up. Ha! That's it. A little bit of tug or a slight short pressure. Good. Now when we're straight again, reach down and release the lead lines. Let's see if we can up. Step up. Good. Stay with them. Step up. There you go. Sela's a little bit faster walking than Sue's. So I'm just tugging ever so slightly with my right drive line. Steady. Ho! Ho! Okay, we got a hoe. Sela's kind of leaning up against Susie. Boy, do we have a lot of practice to do. But this is going to work. It's just going to take patience. Tiny baby steps. Don't make our sessions too long. And and make sure that our tack is on correctly and will not break, especially if we're pulling the forecart. All right, girls. Okay, go ahead, you can drop it. Always feel better when we've got the yoke off, just in case something spooks them, because it's only made out of conduit and PVC, and these two 400 to 500 pound heifers could go in opposite directions and break it, I'm afraid. There you go. Okay, we've shown you our next step. We'll just keep doing this without camera on unless there's something new to show you. And then we'll do it with their full tack on, and we'll do it eventually with pulling the forecart and me sitting in it, or somebody to help me do that. That's all for today. In the next session, we fully harness the heifers and give them more practice in driving with the cross-check lines. Our session today with the cross-check drive lines on, and on the outside of each Zebu, they are being threaded through a dog collar, a simple dog collar, so that they don't tend to fall to the ground as we walk and as the drive lines become slack. So now we're going to try a back. We've got lead lines on. As soon as Seela is ready, I'm going to ask for a back. I'm going to get give and take. Back. Okay, boys, help show them. Back. Back. Yeah, we got to keep the hips together. Back. Over. Back. Okay, now I'm going to G over. Step up, G. Step up, G. G. Good. I should have an arm extension, but if I need to, we'll stop and get one. Good girls. Drive lines are working. Cross-check drive lines. Good. Good girls. We just need to do more practice like this before we hitch to the forecart. We're going to go just beyond the propane tank. We're going to do a wide circle haw. Haw means left, G means right. Step up, haw. Little tug with my left rein. Haw.
Good girls.
Haw. Good girls. Haw. 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 Okay, we're going to go through the leaves. Can you guys please join up with them? Let's see if
Yeah, do you want me to leave it on, or do you want me to
no, I'd say take it off.
Okay, well, it's hard to get back on.
I know. I'm trusting that they will give me a good step up and then a haw. Step up, girls. Very nice, Seela. Step up. Ah, good. Around the big steps. Ha. Good. Step up. Now I'm going to have to G when I get to the driveway. Step up, G. G, I'm pulling a little with my right. I want Seela and Susie to realize that they need to stay parallel and head on head. G. Good. Step up. Steady. Ho. They gave me a good ho, but look, their hips are separated. Let's put the lead lines back on. Ask them for the hips over. Hips over. Good. I'm going to finish. As I started, I'm going to finish with a back. Back. Give and take. Back. 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 Hips over. We'll get that message across. Good. And if I had a proper arm extension, I could do it, even if I didn't have the lead lines on their heads. And that's all I wanted to do today was be sure that our tack is correct, especially with the dog collars on the outside, to keep these drive lines from falling and maybe getting tangled up in their legs. And we're going to keep practicing until we get parallel movement and head on head. And then we'll do the same thing, but we'll connect our homemade forecart. That's all for today. Our next session with our heifers. This is mostly just a tack try-on day. Last time we had Susie and Seela, with their tack on, as you see it here. We didn't have anything connecting their britchin. Notice that today we have a chain. We hope it's about the right distance apart that connects their britchin. Reason being, last time something spooked them. They had their double yoke on, their hips separated, and Sela's windpipe got kind of squeezed a little bit, and she started coughing, and it really worried me, and I realized, okay, maybe we can have something between their britchin that if one moves to one side, the other one will feel the pressure of the britchin and stay somewhat parallel. We're not even going to bother to try to do it with our cross-check reins, which are on my shoulder right now. Today we just want to see, because we're really short-staffed, we only have 2 people, we want to see if I'm going to go to their hips, and Scott with the lead line is going to try to get them to go forward, and if the pressure of the britchin is not keeping their hips together, I'm going to use my arm extension, which is just some conduit glued together. It's going to be a very short session if all works well. And then we're just going to practice, and when we're pretty sure that the britchin pressure keeps their hips together, go back to using the cross-check reins to drive line them, especially when we have at least 3 or 4 people here to help do it safely. Safety is always number 1. Okay, I'm going to walk into the hip area. I'm letting them know I'm coming so I don't spook them. It's all right, girls. It's all right. All right, here's my arm extension, here are my cross-check reins if I wanted to use them. Okay, see if you can go forward, let's see.
Step up, girls.
If that pressure of the britchin scares them. No, they're doing fine. Okay, whoa.
Oh, whoa.
I wasn't sure whether or not their hips would separate when we asked for a whoa. And I think all I want to do today for the rest of this short session, because it took us 10 minutes to tack them up here, is to have you do a G-turn, which is to the right. I'm going to follow their hips, try to give them the extra arm extension pressure if we need it, and see if they keep their hips together. The chain that I have there may be applying enough pressure on their britchin to make a difference. Now, before you move though, let me go make sure the camera is on. Okay, we're going to G-turn in this driveway.
Okay, Juba.
All right.
Step up, G.
Step up. G. Step up. Go back towards the camera. And whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. Well, we certainly had no problem with the hips separating. They're chewing their cud. You know what? I'm not going to call this our moment of resolution. Let's go back a little further up. I just want to see if they give you any pressure at all. And I'm going to stay here at the camera to follow you unless I see tension on their parts.
Step up, G.
Go about 6 or 7 steps toward the east. Okay, now make another G-turn.
Step up, G. Okay.
Well, that was beautiful.
Step up.
Okay, ho.
Oh.
That was beautiful. I wish we had a third person here at the camera and then I'd put the cross-check reins on. But maybe I'll just put them on just to have them on so that in this session it's clear what are cross-check reins. Putting my arm extension down nearby. Make sure we're in the camera view. Now just working around them might get them to be dancing around a little bit, and it's the purpose of that chain between the britchin is to keep them from separating their hips, especially when their yoke is on. We made these cross-check reins from rope we already had. The long part of the Y goes on the outside, so we lay them down. And then this is one of the drive lines. I'm going to do it on the other side. Again, the long part of the Y is on the outside, so I'm actually going to hook up here. This is Sela. It's all right, Suits. Yeah. We put them through. Where's the dog collar? Oh yeah, we have a dog collar here just to keep these lines off the ground here so they don't tend to step on them. And then we hook to the, so far all we've used is halters because we haven't had to resort to using side pulls, which would give us a little bit more pressure. Can you hook the short side to Susie's halter? Here's the drive line. I'm going to leave it on the ground. They don't seem to be rope sensitive. We've done a lot of this kind of work around them, so they're okay on ropes and so forth. One of my helpers just arrived here. I'm going to ask him to follow us. I'm going to take this opportunity to try the cross-check reins. Everett, can you just... He's busy, but let's see if we can get him to at least follow us with the camera. It's all right, girls. Looks beautiful. We've got the cross-check reins on. We're going to do a G-turn, and if I can get my helpers, can you just follow us if we are doing really well and go down the driveway? Just make sure the camera's aimed in our view. We don't know if we're going to have a spook or not. This is a new attempt at keeping their hips together. So we're not using mics. We're not going to go far, but they're doing so well, the heifers are, we decided to put the cross-check reins on. Okay, we're going to G-turn. Step up, G. Step up, G. Okay, now I'm seeing the chain work. Good. It kept their hips together. Let's go back to where we were a few minutes ago and do another G. Okay, now step up, G. G, girls. Very nice, girls. Good girls. And then just stop in front of the camera. Steady. Whoa. Well, that's our moment of resolution. I saw the pressure of the britchin keep their hips together. They didn't get spooked by it. And we did our G-turns and our straight paths, and they stayed pretty much parallel. So we will move on with more practice off camera and then show you the next step on camera. And the next step may be actually bringing the forecart out and somehow, very safely, very carefully, have them tacked up like this with the forecart connected. But we need a lot of people on the team that day in case there's a spook so that we just can disconnect the forecart very quickly for safety reasons. That's all for today. Next, we will fully harness the heifers, including the britchin chains, and pull the forecart with them. Here we are, ready to go with our full harness on. We're going to go down the east-west track, and then we're going to try we're going to try, I'm not sure, it depends how the heifers act. We're going to try to do a ha or G turn and come back. But okay, if we only go a few steps without mishap, I'm happy with that tiny baby step. I'm not getting in the forecart today unless everything is perfect. We want to have the boys at the head of the heifers because this is a big challenge and it could be dangerous because we do have the forecart hooked up as well as all the other straps and harness, leather, whatever. This is getting the heifers used to pulling a farm piece of equipment. And oftentimes when you're training for just cart, even with a horse, you don't get in at first. You just do it from behind. So that's what I'm doing today. We're going to walk down the driveway and probably just a straight path. That's probably all we're going to want to try to accomplish today, assuming the heifers are behaving, not throwing their heads, not separating their hips, not getting spooked by the sound of the cart. Step up, girls.
Since their body language looked so relaxed, we went to the ha direction.
Step up. So far, so good. Let's go a ha. Ha. Girls, ha. We're going to go into the leaves here. Ha. Ha means left. The cart's going with them, but we need a long, we need to give them plenty of room to go ha. Now they're on the leaves. Watch the obstacles. We're going to go ha again right here. Ha. The cart is going nicely behind them. It's touching, seal up. Step up, girls. On the left, on her right. Now we're going to ha again right here. Ha. They don't quite understand. They're trying so hard to do it right. Now we're going to go G. G, girls. Step up, G. G. Very nice. Now I have a looser line on my drive lines. Step up. Step up. Let's get them parallel. Steady. Ho. Okay. Now, we did have a question when we first harnessed up. Do we want the long lines of the cross-check drive lines on the outside or the inside? They seem to work better for the Zebus with this forecart on the inside. The long lines go on the inside. It worked out quite well. You agree?
Yeah.
Boys? Okay. All right. And how were they for harnessing up? Because it's a warm, windless day. Were they good?
They were good.
They were good. Repetition. That's all we have to do here. Everything is working fine except that one of these tires is going flat again, so we're going to have to get a tube for it. And we're going to keep practicing to do farming here with our Mini Zebus. Unfortunately, rains are predicted for next week. Winter is soon upon us, so I'm not sure how much we'll get done until spring, but we love doing it, and we're awfully happy with today's progress. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl. Postscript, you know, people think I've got my goal accomplished, and then they kind of let their guard down, and I'm always very, very careful taking off the tack. And since we may not be doing this again for a few months if the winter comes in hard and heavy, I'm going to review again the order in which things are done. Anything that's connecting the Zebus, like these lines, like this cart shaft,
Okay,
forecart shaft, came off very carefully with full attention first. Now, this is the chain that's working fine on keeping their hips together, so they understand that those hips stay together. Otherwise, they feel a pressure on the outside of their britchet. This is just something I kind of created because I knew that was a problem if they kept separating their hips, and I didn't want to use a butt rope if I could help it. So now off comes our homemade yoke. Let me show you. Again, very carefully. At any time, these Zebus could be spooked by something because look where we are. We're in our obstacles area, which is on a creek bank. And we constantly have wildlife coming up here. Coyotes and bobcats and deer. And you know, the zebus, as calm as they look right now, are prey animals. So they could spook at any time. So we never let our hair down until we're completely untacked and leading them back to their grazing areas.
It's okay, Susie.
We even have connected the zebus to that tie post that's behind Kyle and in front of the zebus. But when we've got two people, we'd rather do just what we're doing here, because a tie post is solid, and if something spooks them, we don't want them pulling back and feeling pressure on their nose. And so far we've been quite successful just to ask them for response to our cues with only a web halter on each head. So we don't want there to be a spook and have that web halter apply undue pressure on their noses so that maybe they'd be scared in the future. And then the saddle racks behind, we make sure we put each harness on a saddle rack. We try to keep it connected wherever possible so we don't get the wrong pieces on either harness. We put it away, especially with winter coming, in a dry cart shed.
It's okay.
Good, good. Off came that britchin, and that's Susie. Okay, now we always have to deal with the fact that these are heifers and they may be an estrus. And one sign that they may be an estrus is a poopy butt, and Susie definitely has one. So before we put her back in her grazing area, we're gonna hose her off, and she's usually pretty good about that.
It's okay, Susie.
We're about ready to get the britchin off and the crooper. Nice, Sela was very good about that. There doesn't seem to be any spooking going on. We're awfully happy with the results today. Our intention is to keep training them on the forecart and then start pulling things behind the forecart with a driver in the forecart. Me or anybody else who's feeling like they want to do some farming with our homemade forecart. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl.
See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.